wife,
yes,
and my children,
yes,
for whom I have served you,
mm-hmm.
and let me go.
Mm-hmm.
For you know my servant,
Mm-hmm.
which I have done for
Yes.
you.
Mm-hmm.
And Laban said to him, please stay,
Mm-hmm.
if I have found favor
How many
in
people
your
know
eyes.
this story? Yeah. You know the story very well? Continue, please.
For I have learned my experience that the Lord has blessed me for your sake.
That was Laban telling Jacob. Yes.
Then he said, name me your wages, I will give it. And Jacob said unto him, you know how I have served you, and how your livestock has been
grown
with me.
Yeah.
For what you had before I came was little, and it has increased to a great amount.
Yes.
And Lord has blessed you since my coming. And now, when shall I also provide for my own house?
Yes.
And he said, what shall I give you? And Jacob said, you shall not give me anything. If you will do this thing for me, I will again feed and keep your flock.
Yep.
Let me pass through all the flocks today, removing from there all the speckled and spotted sheep, and all the brown ones among the lambs, and the spotted and the speckled among the goats.
Yes.
And this shall be my wages. So my righteousness will answer for me in time to come. And when the subject of the wages come before you, everyone that is sparkling and spotted among the goats, and brown among the lambs,
yes,
will be considered stolen, if it is with me. And Laban said, oh, that is where according to your word. 35. So he removed all the days in the male goat,
yes,
that was sparkling and spotted, and all the female goats that was sparkling and spotted. Everyone that had some white in it, and all the brown one among the lambs,
yes,
and gave them unto the hand of his son. Then he put 3 days' journey between himself and Jacob.
yes.
And Jacob fed rest of Laban's flock. 37.
Yes.
Now Jacob took for himself rod of green color, and of the almond and chestnut trees, pure white streaks in them,
yes,
and exposed the white which was.
Do you see the power of innovation in what Jacob? Have you ever thought about that? In the power of innovation in the life of Jacob. And Jacob was, it was the grace that God and the promise that God gave Abraham. And if you look at the Bible very, very well, it was on Jacob that everything, trickled down on Jacob. Right? Finish it, please.
38.
Yes.
And the rod which had peeled, he set before the flock of the gutter.
Yes.
And watered through where the flock and came to drink, so that they could conceive when they came to drink.
Yes, that's it.
So the flock conceived before the rock, and the flock brought forth sticking, sparkling, and spotted. Then Jacob separated the lamb and made the flock face towards the stick and all the brown in the flock of Laban. And he put his own flock by themselves and did not put them with Laban's flock. 41.
Yes.
And it came to pass, whenever the stronger livestock conceived, the Jacob placed the rod before the eyes of the livestock in the gutter, that they might conceive among the rock. And when the flocks were feeble. He did not put them in. So the feebler were Laban's and the stronger Jacob. Thus the man became exceedingly prosperous.
Yes, in cattle. Yep.
And had large flocks.
Yep.
Female and male servants.
Yep.
And camel and dog.
Hallelujah.
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 And 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. 2 Corinthians 12, verse 9. 2 Corinthians 12, verse 9. 2 Corinthians 12, 9. Maybe I should read it.
And he said to me,
Yes.
My grace is sufficient
My
for
grace
you.
is sufficient for you.
For my strength is made perfect in weakness.
For my strength is made perfect. This morning I'll be talking about operating at your next layer of grace. Operating at your next layer of grace. In life, you can see, that's why, I was reading the story of Jacob. Jacob has already served for years. What was Laban looking for? This guy has been serving. He has not been collecting anything. Right? And now there is a time for him to say, can you let me go so that I can go and, have my own family? And, then Laban has to tell him that, before you go, what do you want? Right? So Jacob actually play a trick. But the grace of God was on the life of Jacob. That was why it was possible for him, the innovation that he did. That when those animals, because of what he put down, when those animals are giving birth, they are giving birth to exact one that they discussed that, if we have this animal, this is what I'm going to have, and this one. And he now adds a lot. If you read that, the other chapter, and you go to the next verse, of that Genesis 30:31, you will understand even the son of Laban, they were angry. They said, this guy have more cattle, than my father. Because God gave, and Jacob was patient. He was very patient. Very, very patient. Because he could have been like, he could have fight at that time. That I've served you all this time. I always rear your animal. And they have grown to a level. Why do you want me to, do another service again? It could have been like, no, we can't do that. So, but Jacob realized, and Laban realized too, because in the beginning when she was reading, he said, because of the grace of God over you, that's why God has blessed me this much. Laban was telling Jacob that time. So Jacob had the grace of God over his life. But Jacob was a fearless person. He was a fearless person. He never feared when he said, we have to do it. Laban gave him the opportunity to name his price. That name your price. But because Jacob know that he's serving a living God, that whatever he said that he named, this guy will, stick to it. He will not have problem with it. So he told him what he wanted. But over the course of time, you can tell. That's why Jacob, is a very tough guy. You remember he wrestled with angel, if you remember that. So Jacob was able to tell him that, we're going to do this. And any animal that have stripes and have brand, they will be mine. Meanwhile, the animal at that time, the one that have, stripes, they don't have a lot of people, a lot of animals that have a lot of stripes. But because of the grace that God gives, he was able to think innovatively, and he said, I will put something on the ground. When I put this thing on the ground, any female animal that, you don't understand, it's just like, they said, we put something on the ground, and all the pregnant people, you pass it. If you pass it, you get a male, or a boy, or something like that. That was, Jacob was a very highly godly and strategic level. And he trusts God. So for us to get to the next layer of our grace and of our blessing, we have to understand God is strategic. God himself is very, very strategic. Because a lot of times at times, we kind of sit down too much complaining. We sit down too much complaining. So we have to understand when necessary things need to be done in order to get to our next layer of grace and blessing in our life. Whatever you do, you have to understand that God has already given you the grace and the ability to expand beyond your body. So by the time Jacob left that place, what he had was so much. The Bible said he was rich in cattle and donkey and sheep. He was so rich because that's like a gold car, whatever of these days. He was so rich in all those things. But he understands that to get to the next level, only Jacob, like I told you, is very prayerful. Only prayer cannot do it. You have to be innovative. Like I was reading, was it 2 days ago or 1 day ago, whatever? This guy became the first trillionaire in the world. What made him do that? Elon Musk. He understands, and in business, as a businessman, in business, there have to be, I will talk a little bit about it, there have to be a time that you exit. What he did is he's selling stuff and he's buying stuff. He was buying businesses that wanted to collapse. So he will buy it, he will come up with strategy and innovation, and they will skyrocket. That was why he bought Twitter, he bought it. That's what they do. So, and the world right now, everything is technology. Everything is just technology. So that's why the SpaceX or whatever is doing is just, it's just going. So you have to, as a child of God, we have to understand all these things are not for the worldly people alone. So we should not be like, you're a child of God, you cannot do this one, you cannot do this one. As long as you are not disobeying God and as long as you are not going against God's direction and rule, we have to be innovative in life. And we have to think. We have to think of what to do. Whatever you have been doing, if there might be a next step, next phase in your life, that maybe even you have to just let everything go and get into another thing. That is how the world works. So we cannot so you cannot be that, because one thing I understand about, especially in the corporate world, you have a limit that you can get to whenever you are working for somebody. You have a limit. Even if you are, what is it called? Executive manager or whatever. As long as you have a board or you have a whatever, you can be fired. Yep. So, and that's why you see a lot of people that they are executive, they are whatever, when they get to some level, the company, they might feel that they don't need them no more. Or maybe the son of the company, chairman or founder, whatever, became the chairman or whatever, and he's going to let that, maybe, because that guy, maybe he grew up, while he was in the company. Mm-hmm. So it's easy to let them go. So at every time, any level we have, maybe you are working as a nurse or whatever, you have to understand you need to move up. Mm-hmm. Moving up at times, you might need to move back. Just like what Jacob did. Because he served more. Mm-hmm. That was what he did. So you might have to move back before you move back, to the whatever layer of life you need to move. So we have to understand and be strategic in what we do. A lot of times, most places, it's old people that have been here at work forever. You are the one that will train these people that will come from school, whatever. It's you that they will fire. Yeah. Maybe you don't know, like my daddy. Maybe you don't know the computer very, very well, or something like that. You are doing the what is it called? You are doing the. They say you should do one training. You don't know how to do it. This thing, I like too much. It's you that they will take away. Most times, my daddy, just be thanking Yemi. If not because of Yemi, I will not be at Messiah again. Because all the exam they say is the one that is doing it for me. So we have to understand when time comes to move, especially the young ones, and you have to move. When it's time to move, when you need to, regather yourself and put yourself together, you need to do that. Because as long as you are working for somebody, you have a limitation. You have a limitation. I've seen bosses being fired. High top level bosses. Manager or whatever you call them, they're gonna be fired. So you have to understand when it's time to move to maybe you are a nurse and you need to move to become a practitioner, or you need to become a doctor, you need to move. Or whatever you, in the field of life, whatever you have, you need to move. Moving at times can be slow. People might not see you moving, but you need to make sure you prepare yourself and you move. Because if you don't move, the company might move you out of the system. That's why a lot of people, they are out of, they are out of job, or they are out of life today, because at times when we get to very high level in life, and if we don't move, and if something happens, that's why those people, they kind of, because they have been living in a high level life, and something happened, their life is kind of messed up. So we have to understand the spirit of innovation, the spirit of thinking, of what is next for me. What is next for me? Let's say tomorrow now they said, everybody at this job, go home. What is next for me? I know a lot of people. Like I met somebody this week, over this week. I know a lot of people during COVID, whatever. A lot of people, they are doing, we do IT, maybe I would say, I said I used to do, we do IT. A lot of people, because of COVID, they think that's going to be forever. So they took job and they moved to Kansas City, they moved to Alabama because of low cost of living and collecting money. When COVID finished now, they tell everybody to come back to work in DC because they used to live in DC. So you have to understand. So whatever opportunity happens, what are you going to do at that time? What do you use those money for? Because during that COVID, I know a lot of IT guys that are doing 4 or 5 jobs. Because everything, you can't go out now. Everything is on the computer. So they have moved to where there is low cost, of living, Alabama and all those rural area, they have moved there.
Texas.
So now a lot of people, they lost their job. Because it's very difficult for you to just tell you, in the next 2 months or whatever, 3 months, you should move back. Your kids are already in school over there where you are. So, all those kind of things that you need to put into consideration. But what did they use the money for? What did they use the money for? So you have to understand what timing, necessary action that need to be done. In life, you cannot be champion forever. Because somebody is going to come with who knows Elon Musk before? It's only Bill Gates and all these guys,
Trump.
This man, Trump, and all this man.
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett, yes, that's what I'm looking for. This man that we always know.
And Facebook.
And Facebook came in 2000 or thereabout. When we came to this country, there's no Facebook. So you have to be innovative. Jacob was so innovative, and he was prayerful. And we know that already because he fought angel. So it was not only prayer he's doing, he's pushing too. He's pushing. So we have to understand, because life these days, things are getting tougher. Why it's good with technology, but things are getting tougher to get into some jobs that are jobs that we usually do. Like I know before, they don't used to do computer in a group home job. I used to do it. Now, if you don't have that license, if you don't have your CMT and all that, before they did it for me, the CMT, they pay me when they did it for me.
Yeah.
I get paid. and I did it under the company. So things will change. Things will always change. So we have to understand when things starting to change, what do I do? So you have to prep yourself before things change. Prep yourself before things change. Prep yourself before things change. Because things is going to change. Before there's no Bitcoin or whatever, these days you have Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and all those kind of stuff. If that is what you understand to do, get into it and do it. So that you don't just depend on the job 9 to 5 or 3 to 11 or something like that forever. Because they can tell you tomorrow, the company can fold up. Trump now, what he's doing, all of this researching jobs and stuff like that, is shorting the funding for them. It's affecting a lot of jobs.
Yeah. 5,000.
Because researching job like some healthcare and stuff, he's just putting. He said there's a lot of corruption. He's putting. So things changes. So what do you do at that time? So we have to think innovatively, because God has given us. So God did not give us a dormant brain. So your brain has to be working 24/7. It has to be working 24/7, because with the way the world is going, a lot of things are going to change. A lot of jobs are not going to be relevant again. A lot of jobs are not going to be needed forever. A lot of jobs are not going to be needed. Maybe in the next year or whatever, we're going to see a lot of. We go to the store, is a robot you will meet and we're answering you. Before we used to have people that buy tickets for us. Now you get on the computer to buy your own ticket. That's what they do that time. And they will be one shako. They will be post that I don't have time now. I will do your ticket. Where do you buy ticket? It's on my phone that I buy ticket whenever I want to buy ticket now.
Yeah.
So things is going to change. So what is your preparation for when things change? Things change on Jacob, but he was very innovative. Like, okay, that's what you want. I will tell you what I want, and this is going to happen. So he left Laban being so blessed and rich. He left Laban so blessed and rich. So moving to our next layer of grace. Maybe you are doing a business or something like that. At times, some business needs to be sold, and you need to buy another one. It's not that you did not do good or something like that. At times, maybe you have seen the future that you perceive what is going on. That thing you need to shift to another thing. That's how these guys are rich. Dangote and what? Look at what they are doing. What did they started with? So they are moving to different sector of things. So all these things are not for the people of the world alone. If you are a child of God, you need to be blessed. You need to be rich. That's how you can attract those rich people too. Then they come, okay, I have a God. Because at times when we are doing something and we do our calculation and with the Spirit of God, with prayer, you realize that this thing is not going to last. You need to move up. Like I was talking with my brother this week, because it's been a while I did IT. He was telling me that a lot of things have changed. He was mentioning something that they do. So I don't even remember. A lot of things is automation, and I don't even know all these things again. And that's the thing. A lot of kids now that they say they are doing IT. IT is the most changed thing. So if you are not on your toes, whatever you said last year or last whatever, they have moved on to whatever something. Everything they said now is automation, is this one that do it, everything is cloud, is I don't even know. When I did it last week, so things has changed, and it's going to continue like that. So as a child of God, so that we are not left behind, we need to understand that we need to move on with the time. It's only God that will never change. Only God will never change. But man, things in the world, things will change. We prepare. That's why I pity all these, is it Gen Z or whatever they call them now. I pity them because they don't have the urge that we have. They don't have the hunger. They don't have the hunger that we have. You need to be, if you want to make it in life, you need to be hungry. It's not food. I'm not talking about food now. You need to be hungry. You need to be on your toes. Because, I don't know how they think. Because I talk with a lot of them at times. These guys are not serious yet. Come on. So you don't want it to catch up on you later. You need to understand what are necessary, what are the steps I need to take at a particular time. You need to know all that things. So that when things change, because it's going to be your generation that drastic change is going to happen in the world. We are only saying fudi. It's going to be during your generation that drastic things is going to happen. There are a lot of things they will not even, they will not even reckon with it again. Because new things will come. So we have to be innovative. We have to think, so that we are not left behind. You don't want to be left behind. You don't want to be left behind as a Christian. Being a Christian does not mean you should be a dumb person. So you have to think. You have to think wisely. You have to think wisely. You can imagine Joseph. Just his trajectory. His trajectory. And how he operates in that land. You know about it. How he operates in that land. So things will change. So when things change, we have to understand that we have to prep ourselves. So you have to always think in advance. You have to think in advance. Not thinking for 2 years. You have to think in advance. That's why I have some people, give me your 10 years plan. Before I married my wife, when I met her in Nigeria, when we went for a date, my question was like, what's your 10 years plan? She was like, what is this one thing? People don't ask people that. So which one is this guy talking about? So you need to have a plan. You need to have a 5 years plan, 10 years plan. But it's only eating and cruise you are doing now. It's only eating. You eat this one, you eat this one, come on. You need to have a plan. That was a plan that Jacob put together for himself.